No, I really didn't. I mean, I did talk to Vince at the beginning, and because Skyler, was not. I mean, you didn't know that much about her in the pilot. You can see that she's a devoted family woman. She's a great mom. She's sort of running the family in a lot of ways. But I asked Vince, where might she go? And he said, she's going to be kind of along the lines of Carmela Soprano, except she eventually is going to be in on the crime. And I went, sold, that's it. I knew eventually that was going to happen. I didn't know how, when, where, or any of that. And so when it happened and how it happened was as much a surprise to me as it really was to the viewers. I had no idea how she was going to do it. And I think the way they did it was really genius because they kept her in the dark as long as sort of humanly possible until, you really thought, my God, when? She's got to find out. And then she did. And then it just, rocked her in every way possible. And then what they did with her was so smart, I thought, because she thought, what do I do? Do I call the police? Do I turn them in? Do I run away? Do I take the kids? She was in such an impossible position. But then when she finally decided, I'm staying, then that's for her when she starts to become empowered. And in a way, she starts to find her own kind of, sort of her own Heisenberg-like character, like Walt found. And you start to see her kind of enjoy this new persona, enjoy this new role that she gets to play. And that was so much fun for me to play last season. I loved it when she went into Bogdan and said, I want to buy the car wash. She was very practical and pragmatic, and she really thought she was being very polite and very fair about the whole thing. And then when he said, no, I know who you are, and your husband was rude to me, and he what did he say? He said, he threw my air fresheners down, and he grabbed himself and all. And she she looked at him and thought, oh yeah? I'm going to win this. It was as if it was like he threw down the gauntlet and she said, all right, very in her own Skyler way, which is always very assertive. She plays her cards very close to the vest. She kind of she's got a good poker face, Skyler. But she decided, okay, fine. And that was the ultimate challenge for her. So when she went after him and she decided she was going to get that car wash, I loved that. I was just saying that we were at the SAG Awards and Mary Tyler Moore got her Lifetime Achievement Award, and that family was one of my favorites growing up. I also just loved I watched I Love Lucy reruns, and those were, the sort of vintage shows in a way were my favorite families growing up. They were just intriguing to me, and I loved watching those shows. So those two are the ones that I can sort of think of off the top of my head. Well, I mean, again, also, I have to say, of course, The Sopranos as a family was another family that, was incredible and that I loved watching, and that finale was amazing. I just did a play with Alan Alda, and he wrote a play about Marie Curie that I just did at the Geffen Playhouse, and that finale I remember, and I was talking to him about that, and I remember what a big deal that finale was. So those two sort of come to mind as just, really big, because those shows were both so enormous, and they were such a huge part of TV history. So when the finale came, it was bittersweet. You were sort of like, don't go, and at the same time, it was amazing to see how they wrapped everything up on those. And we have no idea how any of this is going to come to a conclusion. Literally none of us do. So it'll be as much as a surprise to us as it is to the viewers. Amazing. He's, Vince is a Southern gentleman. He's one of the nicest, most polite men you'll ever meet. He's incredibly supportive and sweet and kind. And then he has this twisted, dark imagination that comes up with these things like, heads on tortoises. He is. He's just one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. But that he comes up with the most insane, crazy, twisted stuff. I mean, when Gus Fring gets blown up by Tia with that bell ringing, none of us could have imagined that. You read the scripts, we get the scripts, we have no idea what's coming, and we go, oh my, some of us will be reading it, in the makeup trailer while we're getting ready, and you hear people go, oh my God, oh no, you've got to be kidding me. So it's just like he's a dichotomy that you can't even sometimes believe. He's brilliant, and it's just a joy. I feel incredibly lucky. We all do.